The planet Glomeronine was not particularly remarkable at first glance. Its skies shimmered in violet hues, rivers glowed faintly with bioluminescent water, and the air hummed softly with alien insects. Yet, among the native species, there was one that captured the heart of every visitor: the small alien cubs of the Zorblin colony. These cubs were no larger than a loaf of bread, with fur like spun silver and eyes that sparkled like twin stars. They were curious, mischievous, and incredibly smart for their size. They communicated in a series of musical chirps, and their laughter, a combination of gurgling coos and high-pitched trillings, could brighten the gloomiest of Glimeron nights. Despite their intelligence, the cubs shared a simple obsession: pudding. Not just any pudding, but the creamy, sweet, gelatinous treat humans might recognize as custard-like in texture, but infused with flavors unknown to most species. On Glomeronine, pudding was more than a dessert, it was a cultural ritual. It was made from the nectar of the Floria bloom, mixed with crystallized zephyrium honey, and topped with a sprinkle of powdered moonroot petals. The Human Research Station on Glomeronine had been monitoring the Zorblins for over a decade. Dr. Elaine Carter, the lead xenobiologist, had grown fond of the cubs' antics, especially their obsession with pudding. It was unlike anything she had observed in other intelligent alien species. While other species valued status, protection, or hunting prowess, these cubs measured the world in spoons and smiles. One morning, Dr. Carter arrived at the colony with a small tray of human pudding, a simple chocolate custard she had experimented with using ingredients available on Glomeronine. The cubs approached, their silver fur glinting in the morning sun. They sniffed the tray cautiously, tilting their heads. Then, without warning, the eldest cub, a little bundle named Fizzy, leapt forward. In a blur of fur and tiny claws, Fizzy dipped a paw into the pudding and tasted it. His eyes widened, shining brighter than the rivers under glimmering moonlight. A chorus of excited chirps erupted as the other cubs scrambled to take their share. Dr. Carter laughed softly. "I think we have a hit," she said, but this was only the beginning. The cubs quickly realized that human pudding was different, richer, sweeter, and smoother than their traditional nectar-based treats. It sparked something in them, curiosity. They wanted to know how humans could make something so delightful, so comforting. Over the next weeks, the cubs began visiting the research station daily. They watched Dr. Carter mix ingredients, stir custards, and pour gelatin. They learned to mimic her motions with tiny paws, though often creating more mess than pudding. Their attempts sometimes resulted in sticky paw prints, accidental explosions of chocolate, and very, very licked countertops. Yet, their enthusiasm was contagious. One evening, Dr. Carter sat with the cubs under the glowing, glimmering sky. She had prepared a special batch of pudding infused with native flavors: moonroot, Floria nectar, and zephyrium honey. The cubs approached slowly, eyes wide. This was their world in a cup, and they knew it. Fizzy tasted first. He paused, sniffed, then dove in again, this time making a delighted squeaking sound. The other cubs followed, licking and dipping until every trace of pudding was gone. They rolled in the soft moss, leaving trails of sticky sweetness and tiny footprints. Dr. Carter watched, her heart swelling with a strange warmth. It wasn't just about the pudding, it was about connection. For all their intelligence and curiosity, the cubs had never met another species so patient, so willing to share, so willing to understand. Humans, for all their flaws, had discovered joy in a form the cubs could understand. Something simple, sweet, and shared. Word spread quickly among the Zorblin colony. Soon, every cub, young and old, wanted a taste of the magical human pudding. Some adults were skeptical at first, wary of the strange new concoction. But after a cautious nibble, even the elders had to admit there was something remarkable about it. The humans had not only brought a new flavor, but a new ritual, the art of sharing, of anticipation, of delight in creation. Curiosity turned into collaboration. The cubs began assisting Dr. Carter in making pudding. They brought rare petals, carefully measured honey crystals, and even developed their own methods to stir without spilling. In return, she taught them about human ingredients, flavors, and the principles of cooking. Together, they experimented with glimmering powders, colorful liquids, and strange fruits that grew only in Dr. Carter's experimental greenhouse. Months passed, and what started as a simple fascination became a cultural revolution among the Zorblins. Pudding parties became regular events. The cubs would chirp excitedly, racing from one colony cluster to another, inviting all in a celebration of taste and laughter. The elders watched with quiet amusement, realizing that the humans had brought more than a dessert. They had brought a new way to bond. One particularly bright day, Fizzy approached Dr. Carter with a small bowl of pudding, carefully prepared by the cubs themselves. It was not perfect. One corner was slightly overcooked, but it radiated something far more valuable: effort, care, and affection. Fizzy chirped proudly, presenting it as a gift. Dr. Carter tasted it and felt a lump in her throat. It was delicious, yes, but more than that, it was a testament to connection, to learning, and to joy shared across species. "It's perfect," she whispered, smiling. From that day on, pudding was no longer just a treat, it was a bridge. Between human and Zorblin, between cub and adult, between species and species. On Glimera 9, the universe felt smaller, warmer, and infinitely sweeter. And the cubs? They remained devoted to their favorite treat, but now they understood it wasn't just about taste. It was about friendship, curiosity, and the joy of creating something together. In the glow of the violet skies, amidst laughter and the soft hum of the planet, the small alien cubs learned something profound. Sometimes the simplest pleasures shared, cherished, and understood could illuminate the vastest universe. And human pudding, with all its chocolatey glory, had done exactly that.